Y'all, I'm your girl, Sincerely Jasmine,
And I'm your boy Ed Hip.
and we are here back at Cultural Behavior. Today we're joined by Leno.
Welcome, bro.
Honored to be here. Honored to be here with Mr. Ed and Jasmine. It's always a pleasure to come share your story. So I'm thankful to be here today.
Thank you for
Glad to
taking your
have you,
time
bro.
out to sit with us, pull up a seat with us this week. So me and Leno, we met, done a lot of events together, seen each other at a lot of different colleague-related events. He spoke at my blend mixer, which was dope.
Dope event.
So he definitely has a story to share. Tell us a little bit about you, what you do.
You want the life story or like just a little bit?
Start wherever, bro. It's your world right now.
I grew up on 60th Street. You know, my mom was deported when I was 4 years old. My father suffered from drug addiction, and growing up, you're in the hood. You battle with constant different things in the hood. A lot of different mixed emotions in the hood. A lot of violence. I grew up on 60th Street, West Philadelphia. Went to school. Didn't really take school too serious. Went to college. Almost got kicked out. Graduated my associate's degree. Came to Philly, got back in a little mix I wasn't supposed to get into. Went to Temple, I'm like, damn, like, how am I going to help my community now? Like, I faced all this stuff, beat all these battles. How can I help now?
Right.
Not even with no money, like poor college student, tons of debt, no job. I'm like, damn, like, what am I going to do to help? And, I came up with this idea out at church Easter Sunday, first time in church, and, God knows when. And I feel like my pastor and God was speaking to my pastor, like, yo, like, I want you to do something to help the kids in the community, but I want you to use Overcame, because Overcame really started as a rap group. Like,
Really?
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
That's a major
Pause.
step. Wow, okay.
Yep.
Start there. Rewind. We're going to come
Yeah,
back
and
to
then we
Easter
go into
Sunday.
what it became. Like,
We're going to come back to Easter Sunday. It started as a rap group.
Yeah, man.
So you was a rapper?
No. I was not the rapper. I like to play with my friends. I was like the Diddy of my group.
Okay.
Like, trying to organize and like really make them structured, more structured. Because I feel like we had some good rappers. We have photographers. We had people like ambition enough to like do a clothing with the apparel. and
Right.
everything.
Collective.
It was
Got
like
you.
everybody from my block, like 60th Street. In the O, like my block, my hood, we call it 60th Street, the O. So I'm like, damn, we gonna use Overcame to like, the concept
Got
of
it.
name.
Branding.
Yeah, branding.
I like
I'm like,
that.
the O, we gonna use Overcame, and we gonna change the narrative of 60th Street and how we overcome like being in this hood.
Okay.
But I had these damn meetings, no one came.
That's how it be in the beginning.
Bro, everybody wanted to rap, everybody wanted to listen to advice, but nobody came to the meetings. Tables like this, just me, like one person. And I'm like, church came, I'm like, rap group done.
Yeah.
I ain't a rapper, I can't rap. I'm not gonna be like Diddy, get people to write for
Right.
me.
No.
Diddy doing a hell of a job, but it just wasn't for me.
Right.
But Easter Sunday, it was like, God was like, yo, like, this is what it is. You got the name, but I want you to really impact the kids in the church. I'm telling you, like, I was not a church boy at first. Now, like, if you look at my story, I'm in church every Sunday, Bible plan. It's
Right.
like really structured now. Like,
I thought you was like brought up in the church, just based off of our like social media interactions and
everybody
everything.
was.
I mean, like everybody was like, you got that grandma,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Church every Sunday, church every Sunday. Once you hit 15, it's like, I ain't going to
Right.
church, grandma. Like, I'm gonna let you do that. Pray for me when you go
Right.
there. I'm gonna rip and run these streets.
To pray for
Yeah,
me.
right.
Hit it with the
Somebody
pray
praying
for
you,
me.
though.
Exactly.
Shout out to the praying grandmoms and mothers. We need them.
A word.
So I got a question. So like, how do you define creativity?
I think all of us are creative. Like, I'm not the most creative person when it comes to like art and everything, but I think I'm a concept genius. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like concept is like where I get my creativity from. I'm really good with campaigns. I feel like it's like science, right? So everything is science. Like everything, like you need science, right? Like everything is like real estate. This building, real estate. I think like that. But my creativity is in concepts. Like right now we're in March, and my event coming up now is March Forward. So March 4th, typically we release our, we have our event March 4th, and the concept behind that is that it's March Forward. March 4th, the only day on the calendar year that gives you a direction.
Right.
So March Forward. January 1 is like our we have these objectives and these goals,
Right.
but February 1, we're like, man, I can curse. Nah, all right, no cursing. But it's like, yo, like February 1st, we like, no,
You
I
can't
ain't
keep
going
up.
to the gym.
Yeah.
But then March 4th comes, it's like, I want people to start understanding, like, yo, this is the day.
The calendar telling you.
Just the March,
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? And that's the whole concept. I got a few more concepts. We got a concept we want to work on too. And I feel like I'm like on my Kanye when it comes to concepts, bro. I have like another idea that I'm really trying to develop now and curate. And I'm trying to like put the people in place to help me like deliver the concept as well. So creativity is like science to answer your question.
I never heard that one.
Yeah, I think that was great. People usually relate like business to math and like numbers, but for science, that's very like. But you also dropped some big names. You literally compared yourself in the last couple minutes to Diddy and Kanye.
Right.
So with creativity, you obviously put yourself on a pedestal and have that confidence in your execution. And I'm sure that you see that success in your career and in your foundation. So with that, like, what do you feel like with confidence? How does confidence play a role not only in your life but just in like entrepreneurship?
Right. I think like if your voice cracking in the meeting, like if my voice was cracking in here, y'all be like body language, like you know what I'm saying? It's like
presentation.
Bro, I feel like, bro, every day I tell myself I'm the biggest. I don't care how much money I got in my pocket. If I'm broke, if I'm going through any type of depression, anxiety, I tell myself, bro, you the biggest. You know what I'm saying? And I think like even the name Overcame, like depression, anxiety, I'm sure like we in this room all battle, right? But the name is Overcame. You know what I'm saying? It's like claiming and speaking into existence because like the things we speak is the things we're gonna see, and I think it's very powerful. You know, to look like leaders, like I like Jay-Z. You know, I love his moves. So I'm like, yo, I'm the next Hov. I don't rap, but his moves, they're gonna be like, yo, he remind me of Hov a little bit.
I get it.
And like with the concepts, like I love Kanye, even though he going through his situation. You know, but creativity, I feel like we can't take nothing from him. He's a mad scientist. You know, I seen him a few weeks on Instagram, like with the choir, and they were doing Jesus Walk.
That was crazy.
That was crazy.
I seen it on the
plane
too.
right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on a plane too.
Oh,
like
I didn't see the plane.
I don't think I saw
that
the
week.
one you talking about with Jesus Walks, but he had like a plane full of like all these like amazing black
choir or
singers.
something.
Like it had to be like a choir, and they was all singing. It was like literally crazy.
Who else
He was
do that?
like, "This
Exactly,
is soul
bro.
plane. Like this the real soul
That's
plane."
tough.
Right.
That's tough.
I
It
mean,
was
come on,
crazy.
like that's something that you can expect from our community. You know what I mean? We don't necessarily have to still be in the hood to just randomly jump out singing something
Right.
and everybody coming along.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because think about it, like if they wasn't on a private plane or something, that would have been considered ghetto.
Right.
Like, all these black people yelling and screaming and this and that. But it was dope enough to go viral because it was Kanye and because of where they were.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think that speaks of his confidence, right? And I think like Diddy is confident, you know, anything, because like, you know, having a product or a service, you know, you put yourself in a vulnerable situation. Like poets, I love poets, right? Because they're really putting their emotions to the world. And like artists, they putting all this passion on a record. Anything like artists, painters, whatever you do,
Right.
you're like, if you have an event or you know, anything you do, you putting yourself at a vulnerable situation because like if you fell, it's like, whoa, no one came to my event.
Right.
No one's listening to my music. And like my confidence, like my event, I feel like it's gonna be the biggest. If one person come, I feel like yo, you were the only person supposed to be here, and we gonna vibe out to whatever, you know.
The show must go on.
And I think once I came to that decision, it was like life started happening for me. You know, I've been very fortunate. Like I come from the hood, PHA homes, fixed income family. To be able to speak around the world, bro, it's like, bro, I never would have thought this would be happening. And being here before y'all, like, bro, we downtown, you know.
And we wouldn't even speak much on where we at. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry to drop the location,
Yeah,
but
but
downtown Philly, you know.
Definitely.
Major. Where's some of the places that you travel to?
I've had the opportunity to speak in Toronto at a Black Male International Coalition on Black male engagement, and sharing a perspective about inner city trauma. I bring a different perspective of being African American. Like I'm half Japanese. I don't know anyone on my Japanese side. My mom deported 4 years old, you know. So I bring a dynamic up to the conversation like, hey, you was raised by a black family. You've been disowned from a Japanese side. But in the hood, you know, I was the Chinese boy.
Right.
Yo, Leno, we about to go to your mom's store.
Yeah.
Like it's jokes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you go to I went to school in Upper Darby, you know. You know, my folks thought it was a better school, but it was the same stuff. So I went to Upper Darby High and everything, but it was predominantly white.
Right.
And then you get treated like an African American. So it's like where you get that acceptance. So I share a different narrative than most. But you know, I spoke there in an international coalition curriculum, if I'm saying the word right. I had the opportunity to speak in St. Thomas.
Oh wow.
I had the opportunity to spend in Bahamas. I've been invited to speak. I was supposed to go to Ireland this year to speak, but school kind of messed it up, and you know I had to get my degree. You know, more opportunities are coming now.
Right,
but
always.
I'm just very, very fortunate with share this story. I got a TED Talk coming up soon. You know.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man.
Goals. Getting a TED Talk is one of my biggest goals.
Yeah, like.
You gotta let me know. I'll definitely come to that.
Yeah, already. You know, once you come here, we consider you cousins. That's
right. We cousins now.
Okay.
Now we cousins after this.
Okay, that's a bet.
We're gonna take a quick break right now, though. We here with our bro Leo.
Leno.
Sorry about that, bro. And sincerely, Jasmine.
We'll be back.
All right.
You are now back to Cultural Behavior, and we are here with Leno. Right before we went into our break, I was just looking, so we got this little PowerPoint here. Where is this speaking engagement? It looks like it's like a university or something.
Yeah, I was actually doing a commencement speech
Okay.
for Argosy University. Man, it was like very humbling to be on that stage because I just graduated 4 months ago prior to the commencement. So I'm sitting at my Temple auditorium during the commencement. I'm looking like, yo, I wonder if I could be a commencement speaker. And like literally 2 months later, I got the call like, hey, would you want to come speak?
Wow.
You know, it was like, me? Like, you know, I submitted my bio, I submitted my story, and they're like, yeah, we would love to have you. And,
Wow.
You know, you walk into this beautiful, and I spoke at the Warner Theater, one of the most historic, event spaces in DC. And it's just like, you see your name on that chart, like Leonard Chester. It's like, whoa, you know? And then I go in there, they treat me really nice, put me in a nice hotel for the week, you know, really good care of me. And then you meet the president of the university, and then you walk in with the president and the people that are like faculty and staff, and I'm the second person in line. And like, it was just a so real moment because I literally just graduated to be on that stage. And, you know, I'm very fortunate to be, you know, where I am today. Because, like, if you would have told me when I was 16, you know, I probably thought I was on my way to jail or in jail or working a, not regular 9 to 5. And even though I do have a regular 9 to 5, but to be able to share your story and be comfortable to share the trauma that I went through is like, it's humbling, and also it's rewarding because I'm helping people cope with their pain, their pain and their depression, and how do we overcome that, and it's just humbling. And that was like a stamp that like, yo, Leno, you walking in your purpose because like, you're a symbol of hope. I'm not a symbol of hope, and I don't want people to think like, yo, if Leno could do it, I can too. Right. It's really about like decision making. I just want to be a hope for decision making, and like if you make that decision, you can do some amazing stuff with it, because like I'm not a simple hope, because like that's not what I'm pushing. Yeah. But decision making is like the word I want to use. Like, yo, if he could do it, I can make a decision, bro. I can do that too.
Yeah. Inspiration more than anything.
Yeah.
So like, what do you feel like that moment prepared you for? Like right after that, what did you dive into because of that?
I started really working on my speeches a little bit more. I'm developing like more content for speeches, because like I would literally go places and just freestyle it.
Right.
Like, because bro, like my story is like very different. Mother deported, Hiroshima, literally lived down the street like when we were younger. Got the phone call, having a baby by a black American. Yo, you got to get rid of him or have him, or we disown you. She had me, raised me to 4, deported, mom went to jail, family disowned her, then the family let her back in the family. She had to let me go. So it's like, the story is crazy,
Yeah.
So I used to just freestyle, and people like, whoa. now I have a concept. You know, I have like I sell my story in bad weather. I talk about weather, and I'll give you guys a little bit. So I talk about inner city, right? So I tell it through third person, and it's really like the snow of lack of resources, because like when it snows, you get stuck in our communities, right?
Right.
I talk about the raining of drug addiction. You know, you think about the rain, you think about when it's really pouring outside, everyone's getting wet. You think about the crack epidemic in the 80s and early 90s, or you think about the opioid epidemic today in our communities, they're getting wet. I talk about the heat of gun violence in the communities. In the summertime, more people are shot, more people are aggravated in the summertime. And I talk about the win of mass incarceration in my community. When people were getting, when that wind came, everybody's getting locked up. And I talk about the helling of single mothers raising families on fixed income. And then it's like, dear Mother Nature, I pray for better weather soon, you know. And then the concept, after I developed that concept, it got rolling, you know. Now the TED Talk is coming. Now it's like you can come to St. Thomas again. You could come here. And it's just like really God, bro. Like God is really working in me and using my story. Cause like when I was younger, I'm like, damn, my mom disowned me. Like she don't even care about me. But now, like after I like God in my life and like start sharing my story, I got a whole different perspective, because when she had me, she was living really, really well. And she had me and then sacrificed that lifestyle to have me, raise me to 4 years. She knew the repercussions and what was coming with that. Like, you're not going to have no money. You got to live in the hood. My mom lived in the hood for 4 years on 60th Street. You think, coming from Japan, rich family, coming downtown. We live right next to Capitol Grill, where they did, my pop. And then all that's taken away. Now you smack dab, and
you gotta start
different,
over,
bro. It's different. So I came to that conclusion. I'm like, yo, I appreciate my mom. Like I owe her the world. I ain't seen her mom in 22 years. But if I seen her today, it'd be like, yo, I owe you the world just for that sacrifice. You feel me?
Sure.
That's major, bro. That's definitely
you
major.
definitely got a story this year. And it's crazy, like you done been out the country, international. Like I didn't know that, like all these international places speaking, telling your story. So it's great that you're actually getting it out there. Not only because it needs to be out there, but also showing that you're not a product of your environment. Which I think is very important. You know, I can say we probably all come from the hood or engage with people who come from the hood or, you know, whatever. And 90% of those people are still in the hood, and their goals lie in the hood. Like, you know, like, like I never really saw myself as a product of my environment. Obviously, you didn't either. Like, so what's the importance of, like, you know, that separation? Like, how do you build that separation first and foremost? How did you make that separation of, you know, you and your bros, or, you know, taking that level up?
You know, the separation is kind of hard. Like, you know, because everybody, like, I still ride through sometimes, but the dialogue is much different now. Like, we can't even talk about things. Like, all we can do is reminisce, you know. And it's sad because I love them dudes, you know. Like, we fought together, we cried together, we scrambled for meals together. Now it's just like, yo, like, it gotta make sense, because I'm gonna have kids soon. You know, I'm 26. I'm thinking like, yo, like, what conversation am I gonna have that's gonna be beneficial? So I hang around people that's, you know, I'm the dumbest person. You know, I love being the dumbest person, so I can soak up the information. I got mentors that I hang out around with. I also have people that like Jasmine around me, you know, that are doing amazing work, where I could just look at them. Even if I'm not talking to you on the phone, I could just see you on social media. And I mute a lot of people on social media. I might follow you.
Shout out to that button, though.
Bro,
I love that button.
A lot of people, because like that content you be putting out, and like some of my homies,
It's just toxic.
It's toxic. I hate when I see twerking on Instagram. You mute it from the
I unfollow people, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's like that really, you really touched me there, because it's like I don't follow a lot of people. I don't follow a lot of people that, like, you know, I was once friends with, or, you know, even people that I might still be friends with, because of the content that they post. And it's no hard feelings. It's just like, I just don't want to see. I can't relate to that type of content. So that's a start in making that separation.
You gotta protect your own self. You know, you gotta protect your own mentality. You know what I mean? Sometimes, say if you wake up and you feeling real creative, you get on Instagram and all you see your gangbanging friends holding guns, just like, sheesh. Now, you know, my whole mentality is changing around. You know what I mean? It's bad.
And what trips me up is like the smoking on IG. Like, showing us that you got all this weed and you got all these backwoods.
Right.
It'd be like, come on,
okay.
bro. Like,
We get it.
We know you get high.
Right.
Like, we got you. Like, and I really try to channel what I like to see. Like, I love seeing like black millennials like really thriving. Like, even some of my white friends, I like to see them thrive. I follow people that work out. I'm in the gym now. I'm just investing in my time with like people that are really like moving, like that I can get inspired from. Cause like really inspiration and the idea is like, yo, you got an idea, and I'm like inspired. And it's me kind of like taking from you, and putting my twist to it.
Right.
So I try to like follow people like that, and get inspired. Cause like sometimes I be like, damn, I'm not feeling creative, and I'm not really like artsy. But I could follow like my homie Diamond and be like, oh, that's cool, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, get my concepts, because, like, bro, I feel like concepts is my thing. And, I'm just going to keep developing good content.
As you should.
And I think, like, now, more so, is, like, I'm really going to start, like, having, like, campaigns throughout the year, not just in March, but, like, really, like, throughout the year. Like, now, like I'm trying to, like, record every step, of my life. Like, I'm now recording me in the gym. I'm recording like my daily life, because like I feel like somewhere someone could be like, okay,
you can relate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For sure.
And they feel like it also makes people feel like they're getting closer to you as they follow your journey on Instagram.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's one thing that we didn't have back in the day. Like, we liked celebrities, but we didn't know what they did this morning.
Right.
But now we know.
Now we can see them.
Stay in the gym.
Bro, he's so inspirational.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We know that now.
For sure.
100%.
That's lit. I have a question, though. Like, do you ever hide, like, anything that you feel inside of your concepts that you don't want to verbally say?
On Instagram?
Anything, anywhere you create.
Say that one more time.
Do you ever hide, like, like anything, like messages inside of your concepts?
Yeah, like I hide, like, just to clarify, am I hiding like my concept or things that I'm working on?
Like hidden messages, whatever.
Sometimes. I think my message is pretty consistent, but I do hide, like, if I'm working on something, like right now I'm working on like 3 ideas, and I'm not letting no one know until like they're really thought out. Like, I have a really big concept that I'm working on, and I think, like, honestly, this is gonna be like the one,
Yeah.
Like Overcame was a concept. We didn't really release it until like it was ready, And I'm the hype one too. Like, I'm like, yo, let's go. Like, and then people, like, I have a team. Overcame is like a team of 5, 6, and I'm not the boss. Like, it's very clear on the team that we're all leaders at that table. Like, you could tell me what to do. Like one day I didn't want to have this event, and they voted me out. And I'm like, cool. Like, that's what it's here. That's why this format is in. Because like, I don't believe in the boss mentality, even though like I am a boss. But I'm like, if I'm working with you, you're a boss. Right. And it's like, we all at the table, like, Leno, I have great ideas, but you don't have the final say. And I'm so happy about that.
Right. At least you know you're not around yes man.
Yeah, bro. They get under my skin. They curse me out, call me all types of names. But, one thing I came down with the argument, like, arguments are good, right? People like have this bad definition or a bad design of arguments. But arguments show that you care,
right.
And once me and my team had an argument, and not my team, the team, I found out that we all care about the overall goal of Overcame.
Right.
So,
And that whole name, though, I didn't even think that.
I didn't put it into that perspective.
When I was looking into it, I'm like, first of all, this was something music related.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's
even
still
with Jay going
there.
back to 60th Street and the O, like, it's crazy how it all came together.
Right.
And even when you saying, like, you wanted to speak at a graduation, 2 months later you spoke at a graduation, it's just crazy how, like, speaking things into the universe and creating, creating that energy and like just living in that purpose is going to happen. So I think that's dope. I also thought it was important that you said like you're not the boss Sigma mentality. I think any good leader or any good boss is like you work with other like-minded individuals, but you also show them the way. Like, you're not just like, oh, I'm trying to tell you what to do. It's like we all work together to kind of accomplish the same goal, right?
Because y'all have to have that in common with nothing else. It's like me and you coming together. If we don't want to sit with people like we're over here, then why are we doing it?
Exactly. It has to be a common ground. So.
Always. So I have a question. Like, how did you feel about the TED Talk invite? Bro, I know you were screaming.
How did that happen? How did that happen?
It was surreal. Like, still to this day, I feel like, wow, I'm doing a TEDx. It's TEDx Temple, so TED Talk, but it's TEDx. And then, like, when I read the email, I'm like, damn, life is really happening. Like, this is, like, really walking into your purpose. Like, bro, I'm from the hood, like oodles and noodles, canned food, like, like my grandma made it work. But I'm really like walking in my purpose, and like, bro, like that TED Talk was an invite, was like, God was like, yo, like, keep doing what you're doing, stay consistent, remain humble. Like, I didn't even put it on social media, because like I just want to have that for myself right now until like everybody, see it. Like I told people that I know, and I'm sharing it with y'all. But no one on social media knows. Like, I seen people that from Temple posting it, and I'm congratulating them, because like I'm letting them have their moment.
Right.
And it's like, for me, it's a really accomplishing moment for me, so I'm trying to keep it for myself right now.
Right. You should be being selfish with it.
Genuinely, really like soak it in until like, all right, it's time for like everyone to know. Because like I feel like I move too hype sometimes. Like some of my close friends like, yo, you be too hype, because I'm so charged.
You need that.
And now I'm trying to like really like watch how I move. Like this year for me, not to go off topic, was like, I feel like my whole life to this point I was running in the same space, same spot. Now I'm trying to like really work calculated. If I'm doing this, and I'm giving you my time, and I'm not doing it with intent, but I have to do it like, because time is of the essence. And now I'm trying to like move differently. Because like last year it was like one of my most successful years, like speaking, like 15,000 people, 50 speaking engagements. But now it's like, what did you do with that 15? Like, I only had 15,000 followers, So it's like, I gotta make sure that the content I'm putting out is strong.
Right.
I gotta make sure my concepts are stronger than before, and my message has to be consistent. So like now you see on social media, like the message is consistent, even though it always has been. But I'm not trying to replace them. That's financially, spiritually, everything. Like everything has to take a step up now. And like last year, 2018 was like running in place. Now we're trying to hit the ground, really running and sharing. And TED Talk was like, God, thank you, bro.
I know I was still experiencing.
Yeah, I'm still like shocked, bro. Still shocked.
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned.
Hey y'all, we are back to cultural behavior, and I am about to put Leno on a hot seat. We've been talking all this fun business stuff. So as a male, and I'm not going to make this only about men, but we're going to start there. As a male who has so much going on, you wear a lot of hats, you're traveling, you're speaking, you just graduated school, so you're like super busy, you have a lot of friends, personal life. How is maintaining personal life, business, and dating, relationships?
It's interesting. I have a lot of fun,
A lot of fun.
I have some fun. Yeah, I'm single, but dating mixed of like having all this going on is really hard, right? It's hard to like build that stability with someone because they want to really get to know you intimately. Mm-hmm. And it's like, bro, I got stuff to do, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard, it's hard dating because like people really want to get you on an intimate level, but you gotta go to work, like you gotta go to another job and you gotta go speak. So it's hard, it's hard, because like honestly, I would like a chick, but being busy really showed me the type of girl I really want.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, bro, like perfect I know sense. I want someone that's like doing her own thing, for sure. I'm not looking for, a chick to just spoil you, even though, I want to give my girl what she wants, what she deserves. But I'm not looking for that girl that just wants the bag, wants the red bottoms, And I was at that point for a while, I wanted a trophy. I'm like, hold on, I don't even have trophy money.
You definitely got to have money for that.
You got to have money. And, so now I want someone that's like really hardworking, real ambitious, that has like goals, objectives, and someone that I could like really be vulnerable with because through all this grinding, like you get a lot of different feelings, and like being a nonprofit, being around kids all day, you see them enact, but you also see the family interaction with the family. So it's just like so much trauma in that. And I work with kids like pretty much all day. I teach during the day, do consulting at a nonprofit through the night, to 6. And then I have to do my own thing, and that's really with kids as well. So it's like you taking 3 variables of like, 3 circles of like kids and families, and you got to take that home. So it's like I want someone that's like just like me in the sense of being busy, and like when we have time together, we gonna like appreciate it to the fullest. Right. And like one thing I don't like being smothered. Like I hate being smothered. Because like I got a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
I was about to let one go. Got a lot of stuff going on. And you know, with women, I love women. Like we said earlier, it's Women Appreciation Month. And I seen a lot of beautiful women on my Instagram yesterday. You know, I had a few new followers yesterday.
Right.
Shout out to the Women's History Month love. Like, it's definitely been a lot of love for Women's History Month. So
I didn't even know it existed until
yeah,
this year.
Like March is like, it's crazy because obviously it's something like it's a yearly thing. But like this year, I noticed like social media and just like general support, people texting me. Like, I'm just like, wow, the like natural support of like women supporting women and men supporting women as well has been like really there this month. So shout out to y'all for supporting us, and shout out to the girls for supporting the girls.
Right. And I think that we need that, like, you know, for the culture, because like historically, like growing up, or like, you know, women always want to be the top one. Like it's like competition. Like if her hair not right, she's not, you know, she's not right. And I think yesterday was like a sign, like, yo, like we could do this together. You know, we don't have to like bitter and be bicker with each other. And I think it's cool for men to support that as well, just to acknowledge the fact that, hey, like women are the backbones for our neighborhoods and our families,
and a lot of our businesses as well, guys.
And they don't really want credit. Like some women want credit, but a lot of women are like behind the scenes, and that's so humble. And I admire women. Like without a woman, we wouldn't be here. Like no one would be here.
Right.
And yesterday was like so dope because, you know, I seen a lot of beautiful women on my timeline, a lot of hard-working women on my timeline.
Right.
And, you know, just to see women support women. And also, like, seeing Forbes, like, I know it's probably old, but, like, Forbes put out that Black African-American women are, like, the highest rate of, like, entrepreneurship.
Yeah, definitely still a top fact.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything that, like, challenged it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you look at it, it's getting, the numbers increasing.
And also graduating college as well, as far as attaining degrees. Black women are one of the top groups of people attaining higher education. So shout out to us.
And then you see it, like, you read the paper, but, you know, I think I've been seeing it. Like
actually seeing it.
Yeah, like, I see you on the gram. I see, like, friends like Diamond, Keyshawn, a lot of my other female friends, like Maui, killing it, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And it's like if women can support each other, like, through all the, like, catty stuff they do, men can help support each other and not want to be so dominant. So everything, like, trickles down. So, you know, women are dope. You know, I love
that
women.
Was low-key shade, but I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it.
I was that
you said, well, all the catty stuff that they do, but I'm not disagreeing. You're right. I'm going to take the compliment with the shade.
I'm sorry. But, you know, men, too, like, we always want to be number one.
Yeah, for sure.
We want to be the alpha male.
We want to be the alpha male.
Be the bigger name, the biggest ego in the room. And that always happens when you're doing creative stuff. Right. Which leads me to my next question. Would you want your ideal female to be involved in, like, the creative world, or would you want her more regular 9 to 5?
Nah, we not doing 9 to 5s.
No 9 to 5s over here.
Right.
No 9 to 5s. You know, I want my girl to be like me. Like, yo, we've been on this empire. Like Jay-Z and Beyonce, bro.
Fix.
Like, bro, like, they are powerful. Like, I'm sure, like, Jay-Z goes in his studio, like, I'm gonna knock this out and be like, no, I say it this way. Or like Hove telling Beyonce, no, use this melody. You know what I'm saying?
Clearly,
I think, like,
she's a rapper now.
Bro,
right.
She raps now.
And she was like, her verse was hot.
It was good.
When she said "Free Meek," I was like, "Word!"
Yo,
I'm in the Beehive now. Like, I'm serious. Like, that was so lit, bro. I'm like, listen,
no, but they obviously support each other's career. That's definitely like a good like business. And a lot of couples, like obviously not to like idolize celebrity couples, but a lot of couples are making those like power moves together. Like even with Lauren London and Nipsey, like they dropped a feature. I thought was a super dope magazine spread. I'm not sure if you guys saw the editorial. It was so dope how he highlighted like kind of glorified and like romanticized LA. Like, you know, what is it? I want to say Oakland. I don't know. Compton. I don't know. Certain part of LA. But yeah, Compton. But he basically like, you know,
Inglewood or something like that.
Something like I'm not sure. I'm not good. I've never been to LA. But either way, they was able to, like, you know, make that look good. Like some of the roughest corners, some of the, you know, most known, hardest place to, you know, grow up in California, and they made it look so romantic. So like even with just like his businesses and how they support each other, it's dope to just.
Such a dope person.
Yeah, he's dope.
But since we like talking about like idolizing like couples, bro, like Will Smith and Jada.
Oh yes.
Open my eyes to a whole
communication
different love scenario.
True.
You know, when Will was like, we're not married, but we're life partners. Like she could do whatever she want to do, not like that, but like, and I could do whatever I want. But when we landed, we are together. And I think that's what I want. Like, I want to be married, but I really want to be life partners with someone. Right. Like, whether it be up or down, it's like, yo, we going to grip each other up by the arms and lock and really make this thing work. Because, like, that was, like, a dope concept to me. And, like, their Red Table Talk thing.
It was deep.
Conversation was, like, amazing. Like, how they met, how he called her and was like, hey, are you seeing someone? She said no. It's like, all right, you're seeing me. It was like, like you just bullied me? Okay. Right.
He also talked about how they don't argue, which I thought was like so dope. Like the way they communicate and like the level of communication they built. Like I think that's like definitely an ultimate goal in any relationship, just having that like level of communication where he like, if I'm mad and she mad, we can go in a different room. Like that's powerful. Like, you know, just as humans in general, like we are very emotional and we want to get our emotions out. So to be able to be the bigger person in a relationship and say, we know how to just walk away and then come back together. Like,
and what about the fact, like, when they went to see a therapist, the therapist said we've been together. They said we've been together 17 years, and the lady was like, "You guys are just starting to know each other."
Yep.
And I was like, "Whoa, dang!" Like y'all just starting to know each other, and it's like, I feel like the relationships I was in the past, I feel like we thought we knew each other before we got together, and I think we fell in love with the idea
of each other.
And I feel like that's what a lot of this is happening now, because like I see you working, I'm working, all right, let's try this thing, instead of like genuinely getting to know each other on an intimate level and also a personal level. Like being friends first is like my thing. Like now I really want to, before we like, you know, do all our thing, you know, I gotta really know like the intentions now, how we moving, and what's your goals, and how can I feel like I can help you? Because like I feel like love can die off sometimes, but if we chasing a goal together, like starting a business together or starting a goal, we will get high off of every time we hit a goal, and then we get that rush and be like, that's why I fell in love with you. I think like when I felt I was in love with a few people, and this is no shade, I had great relationships with a few of my ex-girlfriends.
It went from all to few real quick.
Yeah, the disclaimer is always needed though. So go ahead, bro.
The advice was speaking hypotheticals.
Got you. You know what I mean? You might get a couple DMs, but you know what I mean?
But, you know, we do have a great relationship. Like, the few of them, we do have a great relationship. But moving forward is like, I need to know who you are more so than think who I know you are. Because, like, I thought I found the one time. She was doing her thing, I'm doing my thing, and it's like everybody like, yo, like this could be it.
Right.
Month that, like we about to move together, like do all that, and then something happened, then another thing happened. It's like, all right, you right. You know, like this is not for us, but we're still good friends. You know, through it all. Like she moved on, and I'm still out here doing my thing. And I'm supporting. You know, our relationship is not the same, of course, but you know, if she calls for advice or like help, like support, you know, I got that. And if I need advice on what she's doing, she give it to me like that, you know. And it's like the next joint I get is the last one, hopefully, because like I'm getting 26.
Yeah, you start talking about kids. That's why I brought up dating.
No, 26. I'm 26, but I'm not trying to start having kids until I'm 34.
Oh,
34 is my favorite number, so. Yeah.
At least you got a plan.
Yeah,
like,
you
some
got.
people just be out here like, all right, let's start planning for this baby.
No.
Like, so did you plan anything else? Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, but that come with age. You know what I mean? Cause
34 is a respectable age.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. I feel like you shouldn't go to 44, but you know what I mean, by 34 you have an idea as to probably who you want. You know what I mean, who you are, and you know if the situation is definitely for you versus just riding the wave.
Nah,
you know
we gotta create the wave, because like you think if I had a kid today, I probably would not be here. like flat out, or it'd be not quiet in his room. Like it'd be a couple wins in this joint. Diaper.
Can I bring my kid?
Can I bring my kid?
I put the disclaimer. There was a baby in the live.
But and another thing about I ain't gonna lie, I've been seeing a lot of men really posting their kid on social media, which is like really dope. So I'd be like inspired. Like I'm seeing like the celebrities, like DJ Khaled relationship with his son. It's
so
like,
cute.
Yeah.
Like that's amazing. Like cause
that's goals.
That's good, and that's showing like people at the top that like people like come from the inner city. It's cool being a father.
Right.
Like you know what I'm saying. And it's like I think the culture is shifting because like back in the day, it was like like. We just got a baby mom. Now it's like, that's your responsibility.
Right. Even if y'all not together, those your kids. Like, and what it's funny you said that because like Offset and him dropping his album Father of Four, like he made like his solo album about his kids.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought that was
the media tried to make it all about culture.
Yeah. Even though the media did try to make it about Cardi B and culture, but I respected him as a father and like watching his interviews when he did his press run. I just respected him as a young black father to actually take your platform and make it about your kids or make it about being a father, so I thought because he could have definitely made it about him. He could have took that moment and just was like, hey, here's my solo album. It's me, money, jewelry. And it's like, no, my kids are royalty to me and I want y'all to see me in a different light. So I definitely respect that. And he seems like he's maturing a little bit.
Like I don't like the people I listen to. Like I thought I could only listen to Jay-Z and Nas for like maturity rap now. But like now, 2 Chainz's album is maturity.
2 Chainz been on a whole nother way for a while.
Oh, I see. I just started back listening to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember like I grew up like when I first heard 2 Chainz, it was like True Religion, and that was like one of my favorite albums from him. Mm-hmm. But now like listening to the growth of him now is like cool, and it just showed me like no matter where you think you are, how much money or status you got. You still have to keep growing within
For
whatever
sure.
you're doing. Like Jay-Z could have stopped at Rockefeller. Like he had money, but look at Rock Nation.
Way bigger.
Like look at Destiny Child and look at Beyonce. Like they grew. Like look at Meek Hood, Maybach Music. Now look at him.
He forgot the T.I. thing.
T.I.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yep. So he was definitely shopping around and stuff. So it's like, if you keep going, that's pretty much the whole entire thing for me. Like you keep going and you keep being like the student, like you said, you want to be the dumbest person in the room. And at the end of the day, you should want to be that person that's soaking it all in. So when you go into another room, you can be teaching that room. You know what I mean? It's all about being who you want to be and knowing who you are.
Right.
And we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
You are now back to Cultural Behavior Podcast. I know it's Women's Month, Women's History Month, but I really do want to say, like, after this interview, like, black men are really growing and developing. And I'm, like, so proud to, like, not only be sitting here with y'all, but, like, just to, like, have this conversation about seeing black men grow as professionals and, like, like, tell their story and speak on trauma and travel. Like, it's amazing to actually see that these hood boys can actually have this potential. So like I really enjoyed like you sharing your story with us, but also just like the idea of like being able to sit down with 2 black guys that's like really doing great things. So
100%.
Just wanted to put that out there.
100%.
So thank you so much for pulling up on us.
Nah, it's been an honor to come sit before y'all and just share light to the story, but also like support what y'all got going on.
For sure.
Because it takes a lot to start a vision. A lot of our ideas and concepts just live in our brain,
right?
And then so the act of doing it is like the beauty of it,
right?
And just trust the process because the process is like rewarding,
Right.
Yeah, so I'm really honored to be in part of y'all, baby.
Right?
It's humbling.
Yeah, she's gonna grow.
Right.
It's good to have.
He said
people.
she's gonna grow and go to college.
You will see her grow right off.
For real.
It's definitely dope to be able to look back and say like, yo, we really sat with like some dope people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Already.
And to watch this episode is gonna be lit because it's like, at the end of the day, we hear people that we relate to in a million different ways when we sit down and hear their backstory.
Right.
Like, he don't wear nothing that he went through on his face.
Right.
You know what I mean? So to hear that, I was shocked. I'm staring at him like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because people usually get weak when they talk about their childhood and things of that nature. And it's just good that he opened up with us about it, you know.
The world at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, man, and they heard it here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's lit. I can't wait to talk to you after the TED Talk because
Yeah.
we gotta talk about that.
Yeah, it's
You know
gonna
what I
be
mean?
reward. It's definitely a rewarding, bro.
For sure. So tell the people where they can, like, you know, follow you at, keep up with you and the Overcame Foundation.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, Leno_Overcame. Learn more about the foundation is www.theovercamefoundation.org. My personal website is leonardchester.com, and the Overcame's Foundation's Instagram is the OVC Foundation, or the OVC Foundation on Instagram.
Not Twitter and that. Just,
I don't got Twitter fingers right now.
I dig it. I've been neglecting Twitter myself. But thank y'all for tuning into Cultural Behavior. Obviously, check us out on the next episode. I'm your girl, Sincerely Jasmine.
I'm your boy Ed Hip.
And this is Cultural Behavior. Thanks for pulling up a seat.